A family walks into a Toyota dealer this week and signs for a brand new Prado. $90,000 odd drive away for a 7-seat 4-wheel drive, and they'll wait months for the privilege. Down the road, another family buys a 7-seat SUV that does every single thing that Prado does: the same school run, the same boat ramp, the same trip up to the Cape and back for under 50 grand. $40,000 apart, same driveway, same job. And here's the kicker. In 10 years, when both of them are sitting on 300,000 kilometres, you'd struggle to tell me which one was the smart buy, because the cheaper one was never the lesser car. The family in the Prado just paid 40 grand extra for the badge and for a peace of mind they were going to get anyway. I love a Prado, genuinely, but I'm not here to sell you one. So today I'm going to do this one properly. First, the truth about what that 90 grand actually buys you. Then the 4 engineering things that decide whether any SUV does 300,000 kilometres or dies at 150. Get these right and you'll never buy a lemon again. Then the 7 cheap SUVs I watch go the distance and outlast a brand new Prado with exactly which engine and which years to buy. Then the one a lot of you ask me about that I'd be careful with. And finally, how to check a used one in the driveway before you hand over a cent. Name's Greg, I'm 53, no dealer, no sponsor, no badge in my corner, and nothing on this channel I'm trying to sell you. Just the cars I watch go the distance and the ones I watch fall apart. Grab a cuppa, this is a proper one. Let's get into it. First, let's be fair to the Prado, because I'm not here to bury it. It's a genuinely great vehicle. What you're paying that 90 grand for is 3 real things. 1, a tough, old school, body on frame 4-wheel drive that'll cross the country. 2, the best resale in the business. A Prado holds its money better than almost anything on wheels, and that's a genuine financial strength. I won't pretend otherwise. And 3, the certainty that if you snap something in the middle of nowhere, there's a Toyota dealer in the nearest dusty town who can fix it. If you're towing a camper across the Simpson twice a year, that combination is worth every cent, and I'd tell you to go buy one. But here's the honest bit. Most Prados never see dirt. They do the school run, the shopping centre, the odd gravel road to the campsite. And the resale argument, good as it is, hides the real cost. You still had to find $40,000 more up front and tie it up for years, plus you're paying more for insurance, more for rego, more for tyres, and more for every service, for capability you will never use. The cheaper SUV isn't the lesser car. It's the same destination, with 40 grand still in your pocket. So before I name them, let me arm you with the thing that actually matters, because the badge on the bonnet tells you almost nothing about how long a car lasts. 4 engineering truths decide it, and once you know them, you can judge any SUV on any lot. The first one, naturally aspirated beats a stressed little turbo for longevity almost every time. A simple engine breathing on its own, doing its job without being wrung out lasts. A tiny turbo engine squeezed to make big numbers is working twice as hard for the same result, and hard-working parts wear out. That's not always true. There are tough turbos, but as a rule of thumb for a car, you want to keep 15 years. Simpler and less stressed wins. The second, if it's a diesel, it has a particulate filter, and that filter is a city driving trap. A diesel needs long hot runs to burn that filter clean, Do nothing but short suburban trips and it clogs, and a clogged filter is a serious bill. So a diesel only makes sense if you actually do the highway kilometres. If you're a city family, you want petrol. Get that one decision right and you've dodged half the expensive heartbreak out there. The third, body on frame versus monocoque. A body on frame SUV, a separate chassis with the body bolted on, like the Prado or the MU-X, is tougher, better for serious towing and corrugations, and easier to repair. A monocoque, where it's all one welded shell, like most family SUVs, rides nicer and is lighter on fuel, but it's not built to be flogged off-road. Neither's wrong. You just have to be honest about which life you're actually living. And the fourth, the gearbox. A good old torque converter automatic, looked after, is one of the most durable things in a car. A CVT, the belt style automatic in a lot of cheaper SUVs, can be perfectly reliable, but only if the fluid's changed on time. Neglect one and it's an expensive failure. So whatever you buy, the transmission service history isn't optional. Keep those four in your head, because every pick on this list earns its place by getting them right. Now, the 7. Number 7. The Mitsubishi Outlander, and I mean the straight petrol, not the plug-in hybrid. This is the cheapest way onto the list, and there's an honesty to it I respect. It's a simple, well-built family 7-seater, and Mitsubishi backs it with up to a 10-year warranty as long as you service it with them, which, by the way, tells you something about how confident they are in it. The engines are naturally aspirated 4, exactly the low-stress, long-life unit I just told you to look for. The catch: it runs a CVT, so that fluid has to be changed on schedule or you'll regret it, and it's no off-roader, so don't buy it to climb mountains. But as a no-drama appliance to haul the kids around for a decade for 30-something grand, it quietly does that for less than half a Prado. Number 6, the Honda CR-V. Hondas live in that rare club where 150,000 kilometres is barely middle-aged. Keep the history up and they will do double that without ever making a fuss. The reason is engineering discipline. Honda's naturally aspirated engines, with their timing chains and their sensible state of tune, are some of the longest-lived 4-cylinders ever built. The CR-V is light, it's cheap to run, and it almost never surprises you. The catch? Steer toward that naturally aspirated engine and away from the little 1.5 turbo, which overseas has had some oil dilution niggles on short trips. And understand it's a road SUV, not a tow rig. But for a family that just wants something that starts every single morning and asks for nothing but oil and filters, the CR-V will outlast cars worth twice the money. Number 5. The Mazda CX-5, or the bigger 7-seat CX-8 if you need the extra row. Mazda has quietly built one of the best reliability reputations in the country, and here's the smart money tip. Get the naturally aspirated 2.5 litre petrol. No diesel filter to clog, no turbo working itself to death, just a simple, proven, sky-active engine that does big kilometres. Mazda's own diesel in these had its share of filter dramas, so for a city family I'd walk straight past it to the petrol. The catch is, it's road biased, so it's school run and highway, not rock crawling. But the cabin's built better than cars twice its price. It drives beautifully, it's cheap to keep, and it'll quietly see out a couple of Prados worth of depreciation while it's at it. Number 4, the Subaru Forester, or the Outback if you want it a bit longer and lower. This one earns its place for the people who actually do leave the bitumen. That symmetrical all-wheel drive system is the real thing. Genuinely good in the wet, on gravel, in the snow, better than most soft-roaders just pretending to be capable. And the boxer engines, looked after, go the distance. The catch on the older generations, keep an eye out for head gasket history. And like I said, it's a CVT, so the fluid's got to be done. Buy a well-kept one, and it'll take you places a CX-5 simply can't follow. For money, a Prado buyer would lose in the first year of depreciation. Number 3, and this'll annoy the people who reckon you have to spend big to get a Toyota that lasts, the Toyota Kluger or the RAV4 hybrid. Here's what nobody at the dealership says out loud. These do 90% of what a Prado does for a family on the exact same Toyota reliability for tens of thousands less. And let me kill the myth on the hybrid, because I hear the fear every week. The battery won't bankrupt you. Toyota's hybrid system has been on the road over 20 years now, and there are Prius taxis out there past 500,000 kilometres on the original battery. The electric motors actually take load off the petrol engine and the brakes, so those parts wear slower, not faster. The catch, they are monocoque, so they are not a Prado off the beaten track. But for the school run and caravan life most Prado buyers actually live, it's the same badge, the same reliability, a third less money and less fuel. Number 2, the Lexus RX. And before you scroll past thinking luxury means money pit, flip it around. A Lexus RX is a Toyota underneath. Same bulletproof engineering, the same proven petrol and hybrid drivetrains, just wearing a far nicer suit and built to an even fussier standard. They are some of the most reliable used cars in the entire country, full stop. And because the badge scares the average buyer off, they're genuinely cheap secondhand. The catch, buy it used, 3 or 4 years old, so the first owner's already eaten the big depreciation hit, and budget for premium fuel and a nicer set of tyres. Do that, and you're driving the most reliable luxury SUV money can buy for the price of a base model new hatchback. That's the smartest badge flip in the business. And number 1, the Isuzu MU-X, the Prado-killer, and in my book it's not even close. Around 50 grand, brand new, 40 grand under a top Prado, and under the bonnet sits that 3 litre 4JJ1 turbo diesel, the same engine I rave about in the D-Max. It's a little truck motor, not a car engine pretending, a heavy iron block, an undersquare design that loafs along at low stress where others strain, making a healthy 140 kilowatts and 450 of torque without being wrung out. It's got a proper body-on-frame chassis, 7 seats, it'll tow your van and eat corrugations, and I watched them sail past 300,000 kilometres while the finance is still being paid on the Prado parked next to it. The catch? It's a diesel with a filter, so it wants the occasional good highway run. Don't buy one that's only ever done the school run, and check that filter's history. And the ride's a touch firmer and more truck-like than the plush Prado. But on bulletproof reliability for the dollar, nothing in this class gets near it. Put a clean used MU-X and a 40 grand dearer Prado in front of me and tell me to pick with my own money. I'm in the Isuzu, and I'm spending the difference on fuel and a very good holiday. Now, one I get asked about constantly, and I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't warn you. The Mitsubishi Pajero Sport, the newer 2.4 diesel. On paper, it's the bargain 7-seat 4-wheel drive, and I understand the appeal. But that engine's had real trouble. Filter and exhaust recirculation dramas, oil that climbs up the dipstick from diesel washing into it, and the one that scares me, cracked cylinder heads, because the head's thin around the injectors and they're a pig to remove once the carbon builds up. The older Pajero with the bigger 3.2 was a tank. This newer one, I'd want a spotless service history and my eyes wide open, or I'd spend the money on the MU-X instead. Not a hit job, just be careful. Right, you know the models, you know the engineering. Last piece, how to check a used one in the driveway, because you can buy a brilliant SUV and still buy a bad example. 4 checks and they take 10 minutes. 1, the service history, the real one. Stamps and invoices, not, yeah, she's been looked after, mate. On anything with a timing belt or a diesel filter, that paperwork is the entire deal. No history, no sale, walk away. A car with a full logbook is worth paying more for than a cheaper one with a story. 2, cold start it yourself before the sellers had a chance to warm it up for you. Insist on it. A healthy engine fires cleanly and settles within seconds. Watch the exhaust on that first start. A big puff of blue is burning oil, a tired engine. White that hangs in the air is unburnt fuel or coolant, injectors or worse. You learn more in those first 30 seconds than in the whole test drive. 3, with it idling, pull the oil filler cap off and look. A faint wisp of vapour is fine. A steady cloud of smoke puffing out of there is blow by, the rings are worn, the engine's near the end, and you're looking at big money. That one check has saved more people from a lemon than any mechanic's report. And 4, think about the backup before you fall in love. Cheap is only cheap if you can fix it. A brand with parts on the shelf and a dealer in your town is worth real money down the track. An orphan brand with a 6-week wait on a sensor is not a bargain at any price. The genuine bargain was never the lowest sticker. It's the one that's still cheap to keep on the road in 10 years. So there's the lot. And here's the one line to take with you. You do not need to spend $90,000 to get to 300,000 kilometres. The Prado is a brilliant thing, and if you're crossing the country, it's worth every cent. But for the life most of us actually live, the badge wants your money, and the maths wants you driving. Buy the maths, not the badge. Now I want it from you, because you've lived this. What's the highest kilometre SUV you've ever owned? The one that just refused to die. Give me the model and the number on the clock. And if you reckon I've left a ripper off this list, or put one on it I shouldn't have, tell me and make the case. I'm Greg. Look after each other out there.